Guys, Trump's rally at Madison Square Garden was something unmatchable. The rally was just amazing. The vibe was amazing, electric, and the aura of that rally is second to none. 19,000 people filled the stadium, and then there were more than 70,000 people outside. You could see the line, you could see the crowd getting and gathering outside of the arena hours in advance, even in the night. And this event was, of course, held in the evening. So this rally was just amazing. The aura that this event had was just amazing. And today we will go through this fantastic rally and this historic rally, guys, because this rally is truly historic. And we also have to talk about why this rally is so important and why it means a lot. And I think it's also important to talk about why this rally was done in the first place. Because why would Trump rally in New York 8 days before the most important election of his lifetime? Why would he do that? New York is gonna go blue. As much as the event was amazing and as much as the energy was absolutely second to none, it is very difficult for me to believe that New York is going to go red. New York is going to go blue, probably, maybe by less than 15 points or maybe by less than even 10 points, even though that's very difficult. But New York is going to go blue, so there is no doubt about it, unfortunately. But, maybe Trump knows that he's ahead. And I also heard that Trump is going to possibly do a rally in New Mexico. And another thing which is interesting, Trump has scheduled a rally, I think, on the 2nd of November in Virginia. Can he win Virginia, guys? We will find out. We will find out, and the election has already started because people have already voted. Loads of people. Not most of them, but loads of people. So, let's start with Trump's rally at Madison Square Garden. Let's talk about many stuff. So, there were a lot of people in this rally. We have had Elon Musk, Melania Trump, Eric Trump, Don Jr., Laura Trump. Then we've had also Dr. Phil, who endorsed Trump. We've had Hulk Hogan. We have had a comedian, and we've had also other people. We have had Dana White. Yes, there was absolutely naturally everybody. We will go through this. There was Tucker Carson. So actually, it started with a comedian. Whose name is I'm gonna tell his name now, but it started with a comedian who made some jokes. His name is Tony Hinchfleur. Yes, I said the name wrongly. Don't kill me for this. My pronunciation is not elite. I still have to improve. I'm sorry, guys. I made a mistake with his pronunciation, but it started with a comedian, which made a couple of jokes and all those sorts of things. But I'm not gonna go through his jokes. I don't really care that much. But now let's go through also other stuff. Then there was Vivek Ramaswamy, who brought a lot of energy. Vivek is a guy I really like. I really like Vivek because he's straightforward, because he's honest, and it looks like he's anti-establishment, maybe as much as Trump is. Trump, I think, in 2016 was even more anti-establishment. I already said this, but, it was Vivek Ramaswamy who said that New York is now a swing state. Now, I don't think New York is a swing state, but it is probably going to be more red than it was in 2020, because I think that the whole map is going to be more red than in 2020, because I think and I feel like that people are kind of tired of the immigration stuff. Will Trump win? We will find out. I hope he does. But, as I said multiple times, I still have a different prediction from Trump winning, but let's find out. I hope he does, as I said multiple times, and there will be videos, in which I'll tell why, in my opinion, you should vote for Trump. You Americans should vote for Trump, guys. We have to vote for Trump. But Vivek brought a lot of energy, said that New York is a swing state, criticized the Biden-Harris administration and all of those sorts of things. Then after Vivek, guys, I'm reading, I'm not reading actually, because I'm not reading this as you can see, but I'm sometimes looking at the iPad, which sometimes is useless in these videos because I never use it, but it's just better. It just makes you feel like this is a show where there is a studio, those sorts of things, lots of the computer, but it is too big. But regardless of that, there was Vivek. Then we had Tulsi Gabbard, which discussed many things and which said why, no, who discussed many things and who said, and she also said many, 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 many important things. Like she criticized Dick Cheney and she criticized all these people, and she talked about how the Democratic Party left her. As you know, Tulsi Gabbard became a member of the Republican Party just a couple of days ago. She announced that at Donald Trump's rally, and Tulsi is a person which I really like. I really like Tulsi Gabbard. I really like her. She's very great. I think she's very brave. She's very courageous. If there were a woman I would vote for, it would be her without a doubt. If there is a woman which could do the job, it is Tulsi Gabbard. It is Tulsi Gabbard because she's strong, she's brave, she's a patriot. I really like her, and Tulsi is just great. Tulsi is a great person. She talked about many things. She talked about the Biden-Harris administration, how bad it was, and how bad it has been. She talked about freedom of speech. She talked about wars, open borders, censorship, all those sorts of things. Guys, Tulsi Gabbard is very great. She's one of my favorite politicians without a doubt. I'm not a fan of politicians, as you know. I've called them boring, which is true. I've called them old, which is true. I've called them pro-establishment, which is true. I'm not a fan of politicians in any way, shape, or form, but Tulsi Gabbard is one of these exceptions. Then we also have Robert F. Kennedy Jr., a great person. RFK talked about and said something which is very important. He said that the Democratic Party has lost its values, and he also said that it wasn't him who left the Democratic Party, it was the Democratic Party who left him, which left him. That I found honestly to be very, 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 very true. He talked about the importance of, making America healthy again. I'm very happy that Trump has, RFK in his team, because he can use him in order to try to tackle the problem which unhealth is in America, because in America there are loads and loads and loads of obese people, loads and loads and loads of obese children. And what's really scary in America, guys, and this is a problem which has been overlooked throughout the years. It is a problem which has been completely overlooked over the years. Nobody campaigns on this, but this is a major issue. And I think that both parties agree on this. In Europe, there are more restricting rules when it comes to pesticides and food. In America, stuff which you find in America, chemicals which you find in America, in foods, in Europe, are illegal, which tells a lot. And RFK is great for this reason, and RFK and Trump agree on this. And a very scary thing is that 70, unless I'm mistaken, percent of 18-year-olds or 17% of men in America is not eligible for the military. I don't know which is the criteria. I think it is like a 730 mile and push-ups, something like that. And most of the men aren't eligible for that, which is just a shame, and it is just unacceptable. And I'm very happy that finally somebody has started talking about it. It is very great that somebody started talking about it. And RFK is a patriot. RFK is a great, great, great guy. Then there is Tucker Carlson. Tucker Carlson, very famous journalist. I like Tucker. I like him. And I think that he's a great journalist. I think he's a great guy. And I watched some of his interviews. I watched, for example, the interview he did with... I didn't watch the one he did with Trump. I watched the one he did with Milei. I watched the ones he did with the Tate brothers. So I watched some of his episodes and some of his interviews. However, I haven't watched much from him, but he's a great person. I watched the one he put into. But Tucker Carlson, he said that Trump is gonna win, and let's hope he does. We really hope he does. But Tucker Carlson, also delivered a very, very, very powerful speech. And, he said that, of course, the Democratic Party is lying, and he said all those sorts of things. So I'm very happy that he spoke, and I'm very happy that we've also had Tucker Carlson speaking, because he's a great person, he's a great friend of Donald J. Trump. Then, after Tucker Carlson, there was Hogan, which brought his patriotism and his madness, because let's be real, Hulk Hogan is mad, but it was just funny, guys. It was just funny. People can say he's cringe. I don't think he is cringe. He's just mad. Let's just be real. He's just crazy. But I like these people. Actually, I'm not the kind of person. I'm gonna divert for a second here. I'm not the kind of person who likes to dislike people. If that makes sense. I like to get along with as many people as possible. Of course, if there is somebody who wants to take advantage of me unfairly, I'm not gonna get along with that person. However, Hulk Hogan is just funny. I mean, this was just funny, and he ripped his shirt off and he did all those sorts of things, and he delivered a very, very, very powerful speech in which he was supporting Trump, of course, because he's been supporting Trump. So great stuff by Hulk Hogan. Then after Hulk Hogan, guys, we have Dr. Phil, who actually gave a very, very, very long speech, longer than I expected. But he came out and supported Trump. Dr. Phil has interviewed the former president twice, and both interviews were great. Actually, his first interview with Trump was Trump's most viewed interview after the one he did with Rogan, which is now sitting at 33 or even 34 million views. I think it's not gonna get at 70 million, unfortunately, but by the end of the week, it might get at 42, 33, which would be the third most watched episode of the Joe Rogan Experience, and the first two, I think, were both with Elon Musk, unless I'm mistaken. But the one with Trump got more likes. It is now sitting at more than 1.6 million likes, which is just a staggering amount of likes. If we compare it to the Elon Musk one, the Elon Musk one got 1 million likes. So the episode was really, really well liked, and it shows that Trump on YouTube is liked, and Trump on social media, other than left-leaning social media platforms like Reddit, is well liked. It shows that, and I think it is true, because you see it on X, which is the most right-leaning platform now. Before it used to be left-leaning, but now it became right-leaning, and we see it on YouTube, we see it on Instagram, we see it on TikTok. TikTok I don't know, because I don't have TikTok, but I think it is also like that on TikTok. But Dr. Phil talked about bullies, and he said that Trump is not a bully because for expert reasons, and he delivered a very, very great and powerful speech in which he supported Trump. He also said that it is probably going to be an expensive speech for him, because he's going to have people, attacking him for that. But it is always very, very controversial, very difficult to make speeches and supporting candidates, especially if you're talking about people like Trump. And one thing which is also true is that, especially if you endorse Republican, in particular Trump, because Trump is just off the charts and he's just a wild card. Especially if you endorse somebody like Trump, you're gonna get backlash. But he did what he felt was best, and I sincerely admire and sincerely commend people who come out and endorse their candidates because they feel it's the best thing to do. And I say this for endorsements on either sides of the political spectrum. I didn't criticize Taylor Swift for endorsing Kamala Harris. That's what she felt is best. It is fine. I disagree with her because I think that Trump is the best choice. However, if she decided to endorse Kamala Harris, that's her choice and nobody can do something about it. Then, after Dr. Phil, guys, we have J.D. Vance, vice presidential candidate on the Republican ticket. J.D. Vance, who also delivered a very, very, very powerful speech and a very great speech in which he criticized the Kamala Harris administration, in which he criticized the Biden-Harris administration, and more than that, he also tried to give a very bipartisan speech. I think that J.D. Vance is very great at dealing with adversarial interviews. We've seen that with CNN, we've seen that with ABC, is doing all of those interviews with adversarial news outlets. He's better at that than Donald Trump is. However, he is less charismatic than Trump is. Trump has got a lot of charisma. Trump is very entertaining. J.D. Vance is less entertaining, but he's very great. He's very eloquent. He's one of the most eloquent guys I've ever heard speaking. Props to him for that. And I think that overall he has been a good choice, or at least a great choice, or at least a fine choice. Sorry, great is better than good. But we will see whether he's been a great choice or not after November 5th. If Trump wins, we can say, okay, JD has been fine. But if Trump doesn't win, he might regret picking J.D. Vance rather than maybe somebody else. Then, J.D. Vance said that Kamala Harris is fired, and he blasted her. So that's what J.D. Vance did. Then we also had UFC President Dana White giving a speech, and he was very harsh on Kamala Harris, criticized Kamala Harris, of course, and he gave reasons to vote for Trump. As we know, Dana White has been a friend of Donald Trump for more than 20 years, and Trump has been very important for UFC, and Dana White has been very important for Trump. Actually, Trump asked Dana to give a speech and endorse Trump, and everybody told Dana not to do it, but Dana did it because he was loyal to Trump, which is something that I find to be absolutely great and honorable, and that's how friends should work. You don't throw a friend of yours under the bus because doing something which helps him is inconvenient. You don't do that. That's not a real friend. A real friend stands with the other friend every single time. And by that, I don't mean that he always praises him, but a real friend is the friend which tells you things honestly. If you are fucking up and your friend doesn't do much about it, and your friend doesn't call you out for that, and doesn't tell you, listen, what the hell are you doing? Go back. Don't do this garbage, then he's probably not a real friend. But that's just a more interesting conversation to have, which we will have in one of the other videos. Then after Dana White, we have had Elon Musk, who entered the building. I don't know why I'm saying which rather than who. I don't know what's happening, but it doesn't matter. We have had Elon Musk, who entered the building and gave a speech. He roared, and he was dark mag, and also another thing. Elon Musk roared, and he is gonna be, if Trump wins, he's gonna be the leader of the Department of Government Efficiency, which is really great. Guys, Elon Musk is one of those guys who's ruthless. He's ruthless. And when I say ruthless, I mean ruthless. He's very efficient. He's fired 80% of the people who worked at Twitter 2 years ago, and now there is only 20% of the people. So Elon Musk is actually very great, and I'm very excited to see Trump and Musk and this great team that Trump has assembled cooperate and hopefully do great things for Americans. I really, really want to see Trump and Musk together, because that's a deadly combo. We're talking about potentially the two most famous people on earth. Both Trump and Musk are massively famous, filthy rich, and what I love about them is that they don't care. We've seen ruthless stuff from Trump calling out politicians, and we've seen Elon Musk saying GFY to Disney. That was just based. There is no doubt about it. Then after Elon Musk, we have had Melania Trump, and Elon Musk was really excited, saying the future is going to be amazing. Then we've had Melania Trump talking, introducing the soon-to-be, maybe, and hopefully I would add, 47th President of the United States, who looked more energetic to me than he usually is, which is very great. Trump looked like, I wouldn't say prime Trump, but something maybe close to that in terms of energy. He gave a great speech. The crowd stayed there. There were loads of people there listening to his speech. He said that America is being invaded by millions and millions of illegal aliens, and that he's gonna free America from illegal aliens and give it back to the patriots and Native Americans and people who, contribute to develop America, which is one of the strongest, if not the strongest country in the world. I would say the latter is more accurate. And he gave a very, very great speech, and DJT was fired up yesterday. That's what we can say. Folks, let me know what you think about the 2024 US election, and more importantly, let me know what you thought about Trump's rally at Madison Square Garden in New York. And I want to end this video by saying, as Trump done this rally because he's confident he's going to win and he wants to win the popular vote too, or something else, it is interesting to know, will Trump win the popular vote? And I think that he did this rally because he is a New Yorker, let's never forget that, and also because the aura is off the charts in a rally like that.